탈레반이 지난 8월 15일 아프가니스탄을 재장악한 뒤 얼마 지나지 않아서 미군이 카불에서 완전히 철수했습니다. 아프간에는 여전히 한숨과 불안이 가득하다고 하는데 알자지라 맥브라이드 선임특파원이 카불에서 연합뉴스TV 시청자들을 위해 그 달라진 현지 상황을 알려왔습니다.
Greetings to viewers of YonhapnewsTV. I'm Rob McBride, senior correspondent with Aljazeera here in Kabul. It was close to the bureau here in the center of the city on the night of the 15th of August that the Taliban found themselves incredibly in the center of the city after a rapid sweep across Afghanistan, driving back the government forces and taking possession of the presidential palace itself. Marking the start of Taliban rule here. That then led to an agonizing episode with traumatic scenes at the airport here as the United States and its international allies tried to evacuate all of their forces, their citizens, and also Afghans connected with their missions here who feared for their futures, feared for their lives. It was a chaotic couple of weeks which would only end when the last US flight took off from Afghan soil just as August was coming to an end. That has then led to this period of strange and sometimes very strained Taliban rule and an accommodation with the Taliban back in power after 20 years. For many people, it has been a traumatic time with memories of what the Taliban did during what was a very brutal and dark period in Afghanistan's history 20 years ago. For other people, though, they see it as possibly a sign of hope, an end of the former corrupt government and a possibility, at least, of returning to a sense of peace and normalcy. Although, having said that, since the takeover by the Taliban, they have faced themselves a growing insurgency from the Afghan branch of Islamic State, which threatens to grow in intensity in the coming months. The takeover of the Taliban has also come at a cost in terms of the certain rights that have been enjoyed by the people of Afghanistan, in particular for women and girls. That's despite of Taliban assurances that they will respect women's rights here as long as it coincides with Islamic values. But it has meant that in the past few months we have seen women being barred from certain types of jobs, also teenage girls no longer allowed to attend school because of concerns about how the Taliban is going to rule Afghanistan. And many countries have withheld international recognition. There has also been a general freeze on its international funds and assets abroad, money which it desperately needs to keep the economy going, with increasing warnings from international aid organizations that the country is going to face a growing humanitarian and economic catastrophe as we get into these long, dark months of what will be a very difficult winter. Rob McBride, Al Jazeera, Kabul, for YonhapnewsTV.